It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we're doing an alteration of a team you've already seen, the Summoners team. You've probably seen it with Eclair, you've probably seen it with Frost Queen, you've definitely seen it with Pure Vanilla when I did it. But today we're doing something a little bit different. We're running Poison Mushroom Cookie. Not only was Poison Mushroom buffed for Guild Battle, as you probably saw by the news adjustment, but that also carries over to regular battle. So that means poison damage is going to be doing more. But really, that is not the point of Poison Mushroom Cookie in this team. The point is specifically the ability that was added on the last adjustment of Poison Mushroom Cookie. And that is the healing reduction of 15%. So if you combine that with Pumpkin Pie Cookie, the healing reduction total will be 85%. Only for 3 seconds, as it's negative 70 for 3 seconds. But the overall healing reduction of 15%, it does not say that it has a time limit. It does not say that it has a stack point. It does not say. So, we're not necessarily assuming that it's infinite, but what we are at least assuming is that it can stack, as some other abilities do that do not have a designated written out point. So if that is the case, and we last 2 skill activations in battle, after Pumpkin Pie comes out, at one point, there can be 100% healing reduction on the enemy team, which means that no matter what they're running, no matter who they're running, they will have no healing going into their cookies. And this is important because obviously with all the bodies that we have coming out from our summon units, we are flooding the field with as much damage as possible, as quick as possible. And if we negate the enemy's heals, then that is what's going to be specifically pushing us into that upper point. So, the way we are running this is a pretty heavy critical setup with some damage resistance. As you can see here, we have more damage resistance if we run this build, but we're going to be kind of going for good cooldown, good damage resist, good attack, just an overall good setup. We're going to be running high damage on Crunchy Chip as high as possible. Same with Pumpkin Pie. As fast as cooldown as possible for Oyster Cookie. And same for Cotton. If we could improve anything, we would just have more damage resistance on all these cookies. But we can't take away the toppings that they have just for that reason, because everything that they're doing is really good on its own. We're going to just fight through the arena. I'm just going to go through a bunch of random battles. You're going to see some strong opponents. You're going to see some weak ones. And we're just going to see how it fares out. And then we're going to show you the results after. Poison Mushroom Cookie's damage is not going to be very strong. That's probably going to be about the one consistent thing you'll see. But like I said, the main thing that Poison is here for is just for that healing reduction. That is the whole point of why Poison is even there. Yet again, we're probably going to fight some teams that we just can't beat out. Especially, I think this team is a hard counter. Even if they're not a hard counter, being in the top 3,000, they probably just have way better toppings than I do. They had Pure Vanilla for shields. They had Dark Cacao. Like, overall, they just had every counter that they could for that team. So, I'm not honestly surprised. And this one's not even a fair fight because their treasure levels are so low and their rank is so low in comparison that there should be absolutely no reason our team crushes their team. But that's okay. It'll reset the field so that we have a fresh blanket of players to fight against. So let's take it on. And heck, we'll fight another summoner team to show the comparison of differences. So they have Sorbet, which is more of a tank killing front unit, where we have healing reduction, which their Cotton is definitely providing healing. So we are countering their healing capabilities while sending a force of our own against their team. And you can see their health bar is just absolutely melting away in comparison to our team. And let's show you the stats so you can see at the end what it is. So Poison doing pretty good here because there was a lot of time for the battle, a lot of time for Poison to survive, a lot of enemies to hit too. So it's not surprising that Poison was able to do a lot of damage. Our Crunchy Chip did a massive amount of damage in comparison to everybody else, though. Let's take on another enemy. This time we will fight a dual rear team with Clotted in the front Clouded in the middle, Wildberry in the front. And let's see what their hidden cookies are. So they have Dark Cacao and Oyster Cookie. So we should be able to stop their healing from the back. Clotted is going to be taking care of our Crunchy Chip Cookie. They've got the stuns from Wildberry, so that is giving them a slight advantage for that reason. But our minions are pushing forward, and we're taking out a good chunk of them. And as you can see right there, even though they were able to take out all of our cookies, we were able to get all of that healing reduction to where we did take the advantage on their team. It was only by Pumpkin surviving both by health and by pincushion that we actually took that victory. But let's look at the stat breakdown on this. So Claudia did a massive amount of damage against our team because Claudia can do great against summoner teams. Very good cookie against summoner teams. Dark Cacao Wildberry also did amazing damage too. Our poison did really great damage here and was able to handle altogether. And because of this, if you look here, healing done, they had less healing than our cotton cookie, and our cotton cookie fainted sooner than their cotton cookie. So that healing reduction really, really did a number on their team, and that's the whole reason we were actually able to win that battle, because they were a higher rank, they were higher toppings, overall higher altogether. And if we go ahead and battle this summoner team here, I'm sure similar results are going to happen. Yeah, it's a sorbet, so there should be no reason that they're going to take out our front line. Because yes, Crunchy Chip will go down, but I don't think sorbet will be able to beat out the other cookies in the fronts. That healing reduction, even though Pumpkin Pie is gone, we're still getting stacked on them, on the enemy team, from poison. And their team is definitely putting up a good fight, but at the end, we just chip away their full healing capabilities. And we can look at the healing stats on this side, because both cottons survived a pretty long time, so it shouldn't be a landslide of a difference just based on time. So it'd only be a landslide difference based on the stats. And as you can see there, yeah, 2.1 million versus our 3.2. Nothing different about our cottons, I'm almost certain about it. Just the fact that we had so much healing reduction that they just weren't able to keep up. And that's the fun part. Their Pumpkin Pie did much better because their sorbet was able to take our Pumpkin Pie. But look at that. Poison Mushroom doing almost 10 million damage. Just lighting up the absolute crazy part of their battlefield. So truly, truly a trooper in this team comp. If you can get more damage resistance on Poison Mushroom, you're going to probably be in a better spot because the longer Poison's alive, the more healing reduction you can get on the enemy team, and the more poison you can get on the field, hitting all the enemy cookies. So that's just going to benefit you in a lot of ways. But overall, Poison fits pretty well with the Summoner comp. Is it the perfect fit? Is there a better option? There might be, but I'm pretty delighted in how it works because it pairs up with Pumpkin Pie skill pretty well, and it makes it pretty tough for them to gain the advantage unless they have some really heavy hitters against summoners, which Eclair and Clotted and Frost Queen are going to be the three cookies that do that. And you can see right here, we already lost Poison Mushroom Cookie against this team battle, but that healing reduction is still happening with that Poison Cloud. We did lose Pumpkin Pie and Oyster just because of the lack of damage resistance on those cookies. And so, yeah, they're going to take it here. They've got two healers, but we did a great job reducing that healing that they're getting. Like that's no joke of what we did there. And we can look at the stats right here just to see. So, healing done. We were almost able to match their lowest healing cookie with 1, where they had an attack boost buff from Pomegranate, so they were doing a very heavy amount of dealing, but in comparison to what they would normally be doing, it was less. It was definitely less. But yet again, Eclair, Dark Cacao, Wildberry, the combination of those three are usually the counter to most summoner teams anyway, so I'm not necessarily surprised that we lost the battle. But Poison's still doing a really good job reducing that health on the enemy's team side. I would love to see your opinions or your thoughts on that team setup. Do you think Poison's going to start making their way into more team setups, maybe as just a healing reducer, since we might get more healing, like setups in the future. Hopefully we get a poison treasure. Imagine if we get a treasure that does what affogato and poison mushroom do. Like just poisons the enemy, whether it's one cookie or 5 cookies or one boss. I could just see some crazy, crazy comps set up because of that. So hopefully that's something we might get in the future. That would be pretty cool. Either way, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, I appreciate all of your support and your likes and your subscriptions. It's really, truly helpful. Thank you for stopping by for this video as well. And if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments what your favorite stuff is. I'd love to hear it. Thank you.